Hi, New Life Church. Welcome to our TRAC Devo for the week as we are heading into the Old Testament and into the book of Exodus. And boy, Exodus starts off with a bang. We started the book reading about Moses and the calling of Moses. And this past week, there are so many verses that I could have chosen to share with you today. There were so many wonderful passages that just really spoke to my heart. But there's one thought that I just want to, for a couple seconds, bring to your attention. And that is found at the end of chapter 5, but then going into chapter 6. So the end of chapter 5, Moses went back to the Lord and he protested. Now, this is after the Egyptians have been really hard on the Israelites. They have to make more bricks now. They're not given more supplies. It seems really bad. I mean, things have gone from bad to worse for the Israelites. And Moses goes back to God and he says this at the very end of chapter 5. He says, "Why have you brought all this trouble on your own people, Lord? Why did you send me? Ever since I came to Pharaoh as your spokesman, he has been even more brutal to your people, and you have done nothing to rescue them." And I don't know about you, but there are times in my life that I kind of have those same questions that Moses did. Like, God, I did exactly what you told me to do. I followed your directions. You told us that you were going to lead us out, and it is not any better, Lord. As a matter of fact, it's gotten worse. And many times we're like Moses, and we feel that way. We have those questions of why, and then you've done nothing, God. I trusted you, and you've done nothing. But you know what? It didn't end there, because God had a response for Moses, and I think it's the same response for us today when we have these questions of why and how come and where are you, Lord? The Lord told Moses, "Now you will see what I will do to Pharaoh." Now, it was the right time for God to work. And I know I have shared this so many times with you. God's timing is perfect. But see, in the middle of this struggle, man, the Israelites could not understand God's timing. Moses could not understand God's timing. And all of a sudden, God says, now is the perfect time. And I am going to do what I told you I would do. See, it was not about Moses. It was not about anyone else. It was about what God was going to do using Moses, but it was God's timing, and it was now the perfect time for him to lead the Israelites out. Then we go down to verse 2. God says to Moses, "I am Yahweh." And at the end of the part, in the middle of what he says to Moses, he says, "You can be sure that I have heard the groans of the people of Israel, who are now slaves to the Egyptians." You see, God not only heard the groans, but he knew exactly what was going on. He knew that the Israelites were enslaved to the Egyptians. God knew the situation and the circumstances the whole time. While they were in captivity, God knew what was going on. And he says, "And I'm well aware of my covenant. I'm well aware of the promise that I made to them." I think that's what I want us to take away this week, is that some of you may be going through those situations where you're asking why. Why, God? I did exactly what you told me to do, but why does it seem harder instead of easier? Maybe you're asking the same kind of question. How come, God, you've not done anything? And God is saying to you, timing. In God's perfect timing, he works and does exactly what he promises. He said, "I'm well aware of my covenant I've made to you. I'm well aware." He says to you, "I'm well aware of the promises that I've given to you. I hear you." So I don't want you to give up crying out to God, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever is happening in your life. Continue to cry out to God. It's a promise of him that he hears us, that he sees us, that he knows us. So I encourage you today, don't let your questions be louder or greater than your trust in God. Know that he is a God who promises, who over and over and over again in his word tells us that he sees us, he knows us, he's called us by name. Our days are ordered by him. So know that you can trust God completely. And then as we continue to read through these chapters this past week, we will see how God did miracle after miracle after miracle in and through this situation. God, not only did the Israelites leave Egypt, they went out with blessing upon blessing upon blessing as they left. So it wasn't just like, okay, God, kind of got them out of there. God led them out in an incredibly mighty way. The blessing was so great. So hold on. Don't give up. God is working on your behalf. You may not see it. You may not feel it. You may not even hear it. But know that God is working in your behalf, on your behalf, for you. God is for you, not against you. Your situation and circumstances do not dictate or determine who God is. God is so much greater, and we can trust him. So my challenge for you today is, yes, you may have questions, just like Moses had as he talked to God, just like the Israelites had. But know that God is a God who keeps his promise. And once again, as we've talked about before, he, in his time, his perfect time, he fulfills all that he's told us. So New Life Church, be encouraged. Know that God is in control. He is on the throne, and he has not lost sight of you. He loves you dearly and deeply. New Life Church, know that we care for you. We are here for you. We love you. God bless and have a wonderful week.